What's happening, troops? Episode 4, Bemz, BBC Scottish Act of the Year 2022, featuring at Transmit, featuring at Riverside, doing everything that you can possibly imagine in the music world. He's also just sold out King Tut's as a headliner. He's fucking smashed it out of the park. He's one of the most genuine, loving, appreciating person that I've ever met. He's went above and beyond for me in every way that I possibly can, and I'm incredibly grateful for not only to have him as a podcast guest, but to have him as a friend. And I cannot wait to see the heights that he goes to and see him climb all the way to the top. It's going to be fucking incredible. And off the back of that, within this podcast, we speak a lot about Bemz's upbringing, a couple of things that he's never spoke about before, which a lot of people are going to show an immense amount of interest in because it's something that is incredibly close to his heart. And just from the bottom of my heart, Bemz deserves the absolute world, and you're going to see that within this podcast. Enjoy the episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you follow if you're on Spotify, and make sure you tag us on Instagram because that's where we upload all our reels and keep up to date with all the DMs. We've been receiving such amazing DMs from things that people are taking away and implementing in their day-to-day life, which is everything that we're wanting to do with this podcast. BBC Scottish Act of the Year 2022. You've got fucking name to perform at Transmit.
The first ever, bro. The first ever BBC Scottish Introduction Act of the Year. Bro.
Is that what it is? Bro? I didn't even know it was the first one.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That is fucking nuts, bro. I didn't even know that was the first. And also, you've sold out King Tut's. Sold out
Tut's as well, baby. 300 capacity, thank fuck. Wait, hold on, can I swear in this thing?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Like, yeah. Yeah. Sold out Tut's.
And then also, you've obviously, I was at the last headline show, which is fucking nuts, man. Absolutely nuts as well, bro.
If you think that was nuts, this is going to be even crazier, bro.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So obviously the goal of the podcast today, bro, we're wanting to capture some of the moments in which, even like me and Paul spoke about, for example, some of the times where things weren't going as well as what they potentially are now. Some of the thoughts that you were having at that time.
I could give you a lot of that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But you focus on the good stuff as well, innit, bro? So in terms of the whole Scottish Act of the Year, all this absolute madness, mate, like, how does it even feel, mate?
Yeah, like, it's great. It's great. If I was supposed to say it wasn't great, I'd be lying to you. But at the same time, you know, it just made me realize that I've got more work to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like all these accolades and stuff like that. Yeah, fantastic. You know, they open doors and stuff for you, and that's great. But bro, you know, taking a picture of my daughter was with the Scottish Act of the Year was great, but that did not put food on the table. Do you see what I'm saying?
Facts, bro.
So yeah, it's fantastic to get the recognition, especially being, you know, like a rapper, you know, and and being the representation of a scene, which didn't really get much accolades and stuff like that. It's great. Being a first ever, great. But yeah, like I say, a lot of those things to me, like in my head, I just leave them as that.
Yeah.
And focus on how to use that opportunity to change my life and change my daughter's life, innit?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
That was the goat.
Oh, that's literally it. like literally, like everything is to make sure that she's Gucci, innit?
Yeah,
you know, so
100%. You're absolutely going to do that, mate.
Oh, bro, by fire, by force. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's probably the only thing I'm motivated by. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, it's like making sure that little one's blessed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, a lyric in the future that we'll dive into from one of your freestyle in terms of what it actually took to motivate you to get to where you are at this current time, innit?
Yeah.
And when you see, to be fair, mate, that area, like, a lot of people speak about, for example, the reason why they move forward, or the reason why they do the things that they do is for the kids, innit? Obviously, that's not something like I've never experienced with any kids, innit?
Yeah.
So like for yourself, innit, when that actually happened, when Nova was born, how did that even feel, mate, in terms of like what you're actually doing now? Was that actually the rocket that kind of actually pushed you upwards with all the kind of forward momentum from the fact that you realised that I've actually got a daughter?
Yeah. Bro. You know, I was having a conversation about this, like people glamorize kids too much. I love my daughter, but bro, I was like, fucking hell, bruv. Like, I am actively responsible for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's great having kids, but it's like, it's a responsibility, you know? And, you know, it's like, you have to put that person before you at every given moment. Does that make sense? And every single choice you make in life, it's not, I can make this decision because it only affects me.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, like, how is this going to affect, in my case, my daughter's life, you know?
Yeah.
And that was what was going through my head, you know? Like, bro, I collapsed when I got the phone call saying I was a dad, didn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, fuck, shit, I'm not even ready for this, you know? But then I was like, it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I need to, and the only person that can do it is me.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you know, I already kind of had somewhat of that mentality leading up to the birth. But it's like, bro, everybody can think shit, innit? You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, whatever. But then see when they're here, it's like, oh, shit. Do you know what I mean? And bro, and it definitely sent me on a mad path. And that path has led me here, innit? So.
Absolutely, bro. When you think about it, like, because that's something I've never experienced, I just think about the fact that, like, Nova is actually, like, you're actually her dad in it. Like, when you actually start to properly, that's the way in which, like, my head goes, but I don't know if, like, it's
bro,
just fucking nuts, bro.
There's no going back, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I can't take her back to the shop and be like, yo, I don't want this no more. Do you know what I mean? Like, she is mine. Like, she is half of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Bro, sometimes I look at her and I'm just like, I can't believe, like, you know, like, you're real. Like, you know, I'm like, are you sure? Because it's surreal, bro. Like honestly, and I don't think people get told these kind of things, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just something you just expected to know, innit? You know what I mean? And then it comes and you're like, shit.
Yeah, that'd be like my thought process. The things that you're saying, then, like, that would definitely be my thought process. And it's even like the things we were speaking about, like, before we came in from Nando's, like the whole, like, my mum, the single parent thing and stuff like that, bro. It's just like, so many stuff that isn't brought up, that isn't even spoken about. And in terms of, like, bro, even just having a kid and just knowing that that's 50%, like you said, 50% of you in it, that's literally, it sounds like a pure tripping conversation.
Oh, it is. and you just wait until you hold your own, mate.
Yeah.
That's when it gets fried. I'll tell you that right now. Just looking at them like, like, honestly, I remember the first time holding Nova, and I'm just like, fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is me now.
So in terms of where you are at the moment, mate, and the kind of things that you've got lined up, obviously there's a couple of things in the pipeline in it.
Yeah.
I don't think a couple of things we can't even speak about.
Yeah.
I can. What would you say is the defining factor of what has allowed you to get to where you are today over the space of, like, since your daughter was born, for example, 18 months?
That's a tricky question. like
a lot of defining factors, bro.
Yeah.
What is one?
Well, again, if there's a defining factor, I will always bring it back to Nova. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, and it's because of Nova, I had to learn different things. Does that make sense? Yeah. Which were the different things that were the force behind me becoming like resilient and becoming like so focused and determined, you know, but everything will still come back to Nova because it's like from that moment on, I realized what I had to do. You know what I mean? And I realized that I had to get it by any means necessary. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, the skills and stuff are probably already there, but she sparked the fire that ignited this burning flame that's like happening right now, where it's like, I don't even know how to put it out anymore. Does that make sense? It's just like, it just needs to just go.
Momentum's in play, bro. 100%.
Yeah, you know.
Why did it take Nova to spark the flame?
Because I still see myself as a bit of a lost cause, bro, if we're being very honest. It's like, see, when you spend a lot of time, and it's just you. Yeah. Bro, I don't give a fuck about myself. If I'm being very, very honest, do you know what I'm saying? It's like the way life has panned out. I'm chilling. Do you know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever, I know I'm gonna get by. I always get by. You know what I'm saying? And I've gotten by from a young man to now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so bro, I don't really care too much. Like, I knew I had this ambition and I knew I wanted it to be a rapper, but deep down it was like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted it, but you know, I guess somewhat insecurities and all that shit plays a big part in it. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know, there's other kind of mental attributes that were stopping me from being the person that I really wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? So I was content with just being that guy, innit? That guy who was just there, just chilling. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, like low key, you know, struggling and stuff like that, but just is what it is.
Yeah. What were some of the beliefs that were holding you?
Bro, like if we're being very, very honest, I didn't believe in myself too tough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was lost. Do you know what I mean? I never had a purpose. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was the biggest one. Yeah. Like, I didn't actually feel at any point that I was going to be the person that changed the world. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was okay with that to a degree. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though in my chest I knew I was destined for more, I knew I was destined for better, life made me feel like I could never get it. So I was like, you know what, cool. I'll just keep doing what I need to do, you know, try get help where I need to get help, blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? The kind of thought process that you're...
Bro, how long do you have? Do you know what I mean? Like it comes from, you know, before Nova was born, you know, if even Nova was conceived, it comes from like 20 odd years of fuckeries, bro. And that's literally it, you know. It's like 20 odd years of being in positions where life hasn't been too kind to you. Do you know what I'm saying? And eventually, you know, if you get punched down enough, you start to lose that flame and you become insecure in yourself and anything that you touch, you know. Like, bro, I took a 2 years. That's why I've got a track called the EP called Saint of Lost Causes. Because I took 2 years off music, and that 2 years, bro, I was just fucking doing mad shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was just lost, you know. And it's so ironic because, like I say, like my middle name is Jid, and he's the patron saint of lost causes, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. I was like, yeah, but that's just it, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, life dealt me a hand and I had to play with it, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
What would be your advice to someone listening just now that feels like they're a lost cause?
Feel it, understand it, and move forward.
Love that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because you can't run from it. Like as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I think that sometimes people think, you know, and the headspace that I'm in right now, it's like sometimes just allowing myself to feel negative is great. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people shy away from being upset. Yeah. People shy away from feeling not good enough. People shy away from, you know, the depression and anxiety that life gives. Yeah. But I feel like if you can understand it somewhat, it can actually become a good asset. Yeah, 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, my anxiety I see that shit as a superpower now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like a fun game that I play with myself now. So whenever I feel like anxious about doing some shit, I'm like, it'd be funny if you just done it, but do you know what I mean? And then you do it, and then you're like, see, told you. Yeah. You know, and I learned that because I stopped drinking. Because like, drinking was a big thing for me to tackle these problems. Yeah.
I think it's for a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And then I stopped drinking, and I had to play a show. What show? Wait, hold on. What was the first show I done sober? Big show. Was it the Snuts at the Barrowlands? I think I'd done that one sober. I'd done that I think I had a couple of drinks. I wasn't stone cold sober. The first, like, no alcohol involved was the Scottish Album of the Year. Yeah. Was for the performance. Boy, that was a mad feeling. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going up to do, like, someone else's song. And the anxiety that comes with that is crazy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, fuck it.
I think any of those things linked to, for me anyways, I always look at, like, I like the fact that you spoke about the negatives, because I used to have a friend that she used to speak about in the same kind of way. And she used to kind of like cherish those kind of moments as well. And I never understood it, bro, until it was linked to the feeling of feeling alive.
Yeah.
The negatives, the positives, the overwhelm, the stress, the utopia.
Yeah.
It's all linked to the same feeling of you actually. When we speak about shit like fucking like individuals that are homeless at the moment, bro.
Yeah.
They don't get any of those. They don't get any of the positive utopia. They don't. Everything that we are moving forward towards at the moment, all of our quote unquote problems. If they would do anything to have those problems, mate, and to be in that kind of position, and that's where everything, mate, like to get in a level of gratitude. That was in my life started turning around when I started to even do something like every morning I get up, bro, and I state 10 positives from the previous day, bro. Something just as simple as that, mate, where it's like in the state of mind that, you know what, man, regardless of whether or not, maybe I had a migraine yesterday, I done nothing yesterday, but I'm grateful for the fact that I actually get to lay in a mattress, bro, on a bed. I've got a TV here, I've got a smart TV, mate. I've got no wind coming in through my window.
Yeah.
All
and
these.
Good. Yeah, warm. Do you know what's so mad? It's like, you write that down, I do that in praise. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, that's going to be another thing I would say has probably been a driving force in getting me to where I need to be. Praying.
Yeah.
Building a relationship with God.
Yeah.
That's definitely helped. Because like you say, when I wake up in the morning and I get down on my knees and I say my prayers and I'm like, I'm thankful for the fact that, you know, I'm able to sleep and wake up, where as a lot of people went to bed last night and didn't make it.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't get the opportunity to sleep in a bed, in a house, to get the opportunity to have food. They didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And there's all these things that I get, and yeah, it kind of realigns my focus a bit more.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
So in your case, it's writing it down.
Yeah.
You know, in my case, it's having a conversation with myself to a higher being who's in me, kind of thing. You know,
it was something that I didn't grow up in an environment where, quote, like anything like God related or any sort of religion or anything like that. So in terms of that being a defining factor for you, like what was the kind of driving force behind that? Like, do you know what I'm saying? This is something that I just want to be educated on, bro.
So like, bro, for me, like I grew up in a religious household.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it was one of them ones. Like, bro, my grandmother was gonna be a soul rest in peace, bro. Like fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up to say your prayers, whether you flipping like it or not. Does that make sense? Like, like, bro, we used to like kid on that we're like sleeping and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like she'll come into the door and now, you know that way where someone opens your door, you wake up, you're just like, this is long. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just close my eyes just so I can't see him, innit? She'll be like, bruv, get up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like, so my whole family is religious.
Yeah.
I fell away from it when I moved out for my 19th birthday.
Okay.
I wanted to have fun. I wanted to feel and experience the world. Do you know what I mean? Started doing dumb shit. But long story short, you know, my sister on the other hand, so like, she's like my full blood sister, innit?
Okay.
She's mad religious. Like, sometimes it annoys me, bro. Let me not even lie, because like I believe in God, but I believe in God, I don't believe in religion. Does that make sense? So like we have a completely different, like she wants me to go to church every Sunday and I'm like, impossible, that's not happening, innit? Do you know what I mean? And we spoke and we had a really, really like important conversation about just how I was feeling and stuff. Yeah. And she was like, bro, you need to stop praying, man. You know, and that's the driving force behind me now having a connection with God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just that conversation with my sister.
Absolutely. And it's something that, the reason I'm asking those, because there'll be people listening as well, bro, that won't, it's one of those, it's like in an environment, it needs to be a trusted environment for even an open-ended question like I just asked you, for example, because it's something that I think religion, like you spoke about, the way in which your sister potentially feels, it can sometimes feel like it's walking on eggshells, where it's like, can I even ask that?
Yeah, no, bro.
And then it's like,
but bro, I think in the world that we live in is like, you know, if you don't ask, you will never know. Yeah. And I'd rather someone ask me than walk about and be ignorant. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like people need to adapt that kind of mentality, innit? Like. Obviously, some people's questions are just stupid, innit? Do you know what I mean? I know people say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but like sometimes I'm like, bruv, like, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, like I'm glad you asked, because now what's called prayers is a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big aspect in my life, and it keeps me very, very much grounded in this mad life that I live in. You know,
100%, bro. No, I couldn't agree more, mate. And it kind of leads me on to what we were speaking about in terms of you bumped into one of my mates from school, Brad, and that was literally like that was when you got Scottish Act the day after.
Yeah.
So that was not even a month ago, around about that time. And Brad had never met you. Brad didn't even know, like, me and Brad had never even spoke about yourself or anything like that. And the level of love and appreciation and just genuineness that you showed towards him, he was instantly, especially from where everyone kind of grew up, the way in which you carry yourself, the way in which you show appreciation to every single individual. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know, man. I guess it comes from different places. It comes from being spoken to like shit. It comes to being spoken to with respect. Comes to having people around me who speak to me with love and care. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a mixture of things. But then I realized, like, it's like, bruv, it doesn't take nothing for me to be nice.
Yeah.
And plus, it's like, see, whenever I meet, like, I think I'm a very respectable person as it is anyways. Do you know what I mean? Like, but see, when I meet someone, so for example, I met you and you had someone there with you. To me, that person is an extension of you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that person automatically now gets that same amount of love and respect that I would give you. So if you notice, the greetings were the exact same.
Yeah.
But to us, it was normal. To him, he's like, bro, what the fuck is this guy? Like, I don't know this guy. But that's because to me, he's just an extension of you. Because now imagine if I speak to you with bare respect and I chat to your bedroom, I'm like, yeah, cool. That's awkward for everybody involved in that. Does that make sense? Because you're standing there, you're like, oh, okay. Shit. And he's walking there like, well, that guy obviously doesn't like me. And I'm walking there being like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
But if you just take that out of the equation and just be like, okay, that person is with someone that I know, they get the same respect.
Yeah.
And life works better, innit?
100%, mate. And have you read How to Win Friends and Influence People? No. You speak that language, bro. I know that book. I'm currently reading through it at the moment, and it's very simple. It's along the lines of showing interest, genuine interest. That's the thing. That's the main word that's always used. Yeah. Genuine interest, not just milking it in terms of like acting like you care when you don't care. Shown genuine interest in all individuals, making it about them, not making it about yourself, you. You know, focusing on we as a collective rather than just focusing on me and whatever it is that I'm doing. Even things as simple as like using their name. Yeah. You know, something as simple as that. And it's, I'd recommend, if you've not read it, bro, because you'd be reading it, you'd be thinking, that's the shit that I've done for years, bro. Yeah. And it gives, because there was things that I was doing that as I was reading it, I was thinking, shit, man. Like, one of the quotes is about how you can make more friends in 2 years by being genuinely interested in somebody else than spending 2 years trying to get, or 2 months, than spending 2 months of trying to get people interested in you. I'll repeat that in it because I fucking fucked that up. You can make more friends in 2 years by being genuinely interested in somebody else than you can in 2 months of trying to get people interested in you. Yeah. And it's just, meeting, I was all the way around, I'd probably say.
Yeah, but what's good? I feel like what's good, people can sense when you're being fugazi as fuck.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if I walked into a room right now and I didn't like someone, my body energy, like, it would give that off straight away. And bro, you know, you might think I show love to everybody, but there's people in the world who tell you that Bemz is a prick. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just because I'm very, very much, either I'm all in or I'm not there at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I will always have my reasons. Like, bro, I will never walk in somewhere and just be a prick for no reason. Does that make sense? Like, and I just want to make that clear. But if someone says like some mad thing in that time, I'll be like, yeah, okay. this can't run.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yes, I'm just true, innit?
Yeah, you're always going to be the devil in somebody's story. That's what
100, bro. Facts, you know.
Because it's not going to. Aye, and there's so many like instances where it comes into play in terms of like, for example, like people that I went to school with, or anything like that, or just something as simple as someone that you had one conversation with. They'll think that you're an angel.
Yeah.
Somebody else will think that you're the worst cunt on this planet.
Yeah.
It just happens, bro. It happens. I was just thinking as I was speaking there, I didn't realise that like frame Guy's piece. I didn't know that it said Guy's piece on that. That is class. I've literally sat here how many times now, literally, and I'm like,
yeah, no, they're belters, man. Passing it.
They're fucking class, man. They're dynamite. But when it came to Brad was buzzing, bro. After That's you mad. Said it to him, and it's because, especially from like where we come, nobody's even. That's the thing, like the way in which like you can stand out in that sort of instance is probably why you've got so many people. Like when you sold out, is it Poetry Club?
Yeah.
When you were in there, but see that the amount of people that were there just for you, and the amount of love and like it was such a good like energy, and it was everything that you were. All that energy was everything that you'd given out, and you were just getting back in abundance, bro. And it was everyone was matching it, mate. And that is utopia, mate.
Yeah.
Like being in that moment, and I think it feels different too. Like it felt different to me being there, like because even before you, bro, I'd never been to a music festival or nothing or anything because it just was never in in my sphere. So going along to that, I had never necessarily experienced that. I'd just seen things on TV and stuff like that, but being there, it was like we weren't just enjoying the music, it was like everyone that was there, it was like they were all so proud at the same time, which is something that you've created through the way in which you speak to people, the relationships you build. Everything's long term, everything's about the other individual. You literally sat and gassed to me, literally walking in for about 2 minutes, and then you went, so what's going on with you? And try and make it all about me in it, whereas I'm the same thought process. I'm like, I want to make this all about you.
But for me though, I feel like it's just nice, isn't it? Yeah. Like, bro, it's literally like there's no science behind it. It's just, it's nice, man. I spend too much time with myself. Like I'm with you. I'm like, yo, tell me what's good, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember when we were trying to cross the road. I'm like, bro, what's good? He tried to give me some lame ass answers and shit. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, come on, like what's happening, innit? Do you know? And I draw motivation and I draw love and stuff from people around me. Yeah. You know, and getting it back is good.
Yeah.
But it feels so much better giving it up.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, and like, bro, I'm gonna go home and be gassed that Brad, you know, felt that way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, fuck, man. You know, like, but that again for me just goes to show how much pricks they are in the world, bro. Because it's like, how is me just saying hello to somebody and being somewhat nice and paying just the slightest bit of interest in them such a big deal? Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And it just means that most motherfuckers out here just pricks. Sorry, I don't know how many times I'm going to say the word prick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but I apologize for swearing so much. But
it's all good, man.
Yeah.
It was actually something I wanted to bring up to Paul when it came to, we were doing some of the podcasts we've been doing. We obviously had on Josh Ginnelly, Liam Boyce, Declan Gallagher and stuff like that, which is class, man, having them on and getting into the minds of, I started to realise more and more I was getting them on because I was mates with them, and also like I loved chatting with them and I knew how much of a benefit they would be to other people, and it started to kind of hit me with that when it was like, mate, if I was back when I was like 13, if I'd just heard about something as simple as focusing on your mindset, making sure that you build resilience, something as simple as that, all it would take is one little snippet to change someone's life completely in it.
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
I don't know. I think like the way I see life, and I can only speak for me.
Yeah.
Bro, there's bare shit my dad told me to do. There's bare shit my aunties, my brothers and shit told me to do at 13, 14.
Yeah.
And if I had done that, I'd been in a better place. Guess what? I was 13, 14. I was not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was like, bro, hell no. I just want to go out and cause it with my veterans. Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, it's why I have a thing with that, because it's like, one thing I've started to realize in life is people are ready when they're ready.
Yeah.
So, bro, again, I can't speak for you. Do you know what I'm saying? At the age of 13, if you heard those stuff, you could have probably been like, oh shit, yeah, I need that now.
Yeah.
But most people that I've been with, I'm like, yeah, we all got told the same, but we're just like, nah.
So many different times where like the penny drop moment comes into play. And for me anyways, where like my mum used to preach mad shit to me, mate, that would put me in a much better place than any time. But because I was hearing it constantly from my mum or my gran or whoever it may be, it never hit the same, bro. Whereas with something like this, for example, this pod, it could take one person to listen to this. I even received a DM yesterday, and it was a 15-year-old young lad, and he was like, reply to one of the stories that we put up of a podcast snippet, and it was to do with business or an ad or something like that, and he was like, how can I get myself into the mindset of hustling and making money at the age of 15?
That's class.
And it's like, all it takes is, meaning that all it takes is one video or snippet just to ask, for them to ask the questions.
Yeah, no, 100.
When it came to like, absolutely, bro. See, when it comes to, it's not even like, I admire my mum. You know, I love my mum. I'd do anything for my mum. But because you're hearing it constantly and it doesn't hit.
It's your mum, innit? Do you know what I mean?
It's your mum.
Like, bro, like I have this conversation with people all the time. More time, it's not what's being said, it's who's saying it, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if your idol came down and told you the exact same thing, but you pattern up your shit quickly. Do you see what I'm saying? But then it's like, bro, like, everyone else is saying that, you know?
Comes with commitment too, like from a monetary aspect. That's why we speak about it. So I've spoken about it in the podcast multiple times with Scott McClure, who was the second episode. There's so many times that we spoke about how like money is commitment, and how, you know, people put money on the table, then more committed to putting in the time or getting the results that is required.
What's called? That was one of the first things you actually told me. I remember the conversation in Fusion.
Oh shit! Yeah. That was the chances of us meeting, by the way, at that time frame.
Mad.
So fucking slim, because I was literally there to meet Rob.
Yeah.
And you were just there using the studio.
Yeah. I miss Rob, because he had that kind of understanding as well. But side track. Just sitting here telling I miss Rob and that. But no, I remember that you saying that. You're like, you know, see, when people actually put down something on it, you realise they work a whole lot harder.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because ain't nobody trying to lose that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. More value their time more. Like, when it comes to like the time aspect, you're paying somebody $1,000 a month and they're giving you 4 sessions a month, 1 a week. If that's the most that you're paying somebody, that's going to be your top priority, mate. Nothing's going to override that. Yeah. Whereas if it's just free, it's like something comes up, oh fuck it, just do this instead.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first lessons that Paula taught me, because I was so fortunate because she coached my mum and I was my mum's son. She wanted to give me a free 1-to-1 session once a month just to help me out when I was 19. Definitely. And mate, no joke, in those, I done 2 sessions with her. I remember I was telling her like, oh, like I'd love to have more and stuff like that. She was like, well, you need to put commitment on the table and stuff like that. And I was just being greedy, but I was just like, I just love this. Like, I admired her and I respected the time so much that it was so important to me. And she was like, I'm telling you just now, John, if I give you any more, there would come a time where you would not show up and you for whatever reason. And I was like, bullshit. No way would that ever happen. And she was like, I'm telling you just now, John. She was like, what would you do if Tony Robbins walked in and said, I can give you 1 hour of my time, but it's the exact same time as Paula's? Would you or would you not choose Tony Robbins?
No.
And it was kind of putting it like that. And then the following month from my 1-to-1, this is when I used to get up at like 10 o'clock as well, bro. Yeah, so this was before like my times now. Got up at 10, hopped in the shower, came out the shower, 20 past 10, received a text. So you can make our session today, John. Hope everything's okay. And I went, the fuck? It's from Paula. And I just missed it in my calendar, bro. That was a point I felt so bad, bro. My stomach sank, mate, because I just don't like letting people down. But at the same time, it was like, she was right.
Yeah.
She was, and from that point onwards, bro, it was like that was a harsh reality that I had to experience, where that no one to once came after like that. Not in terms of like on Paul's side, it was just in my head, it was like shit, I actually need to put commitment on the table, or else what the fuck am I doing? And it's huge, mate. And when you're thinking about outside of music and stuff like that as well, because we spoke about business, spoke about M4, spoke about quite a lot of things, mate. What is your like long term vision? These are peak questions, bro.
No. It's because like there's a few answers to that. Like in what sense? You know, like in Jabemi as a person, in Jabemi as a dad, in Jabemi as a businessman, in Bemz, you know? Like there's so many different ways that I could tackle that question, you know?
And they're all important, bro. That's the thing, they're all incredibly important. Mate.
For me, my long-term goal and my long-term vision is to create something that's sustainable. That's it. You know, in the music, I want to create music that lasted the test of time. In business, I want to create something that, you know, never stops.
Yeah.
You know, and whether that's like, you know, bro, I can't make t-shirts all the time, innit? But I want to make something that's like lasting.
Yeah.
And the impact that it has on people, that's what needs to be lasting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the thing, but it's the emotion that comes with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So with like M4, for example, I want to create something that gives back to the community, but doesn't stop after 2 years. It's like, this just keeps feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding.
Yeah.
My music, when people hear my music in 20 years' time, I want them to hear the feelings that I'm feeling now.
Yeah.
Because, bro, that shit never changes.
There was one thing that I always admired when we first met was that your vision for everyone winning.
Yeah.
Rather than just you, how much does that actually like mean to you at the moment? Is that everything?
Oh, bro, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's still everything. But then, this is what's tricky now. Yeah. It's like, for some reason, people think I'm famous. Yeah. For some people think I'm up.
Yeah.
They think I've made it. When in reality, I've not even started yet. But now I'm seeing people's true colours because of that. Does that make sense? So it's like, I'm sitting here trying to make sure that everybody wins, but there's people who just want to be involved in it to make sure they win.
Yeah.
And then they take what they want out of it. And then they leave. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's so good because I'm like, in my eyes, I've not even started yet. So I'm glad that you're showing me the type of person that you are. But then that in itself now creates a doubt in my head. Because it's like, I can't be naive to the fact that just because I want to see everybody win, it doesn't mean it's the exact same.
Yeah.
You know, some people just want me to win so it benefits them. Or some people don't even want me to win, but they're there anyways, just in case I win. So they can be like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, bro, and I start looking at it. And then it's like, you know, I spoke to one of my boys, like really, really good guy. And it's that kind of same message that people drill in you. It's like, bro, you know, nobody makes it until you make it.
Yeah.
So you focus on making it and the impact you have once you've made it with a bigger, then you focusing on making sure everybody eats now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a battle.
Yeah.
That's a big battle that I face because I'm like, yo, fuck, man, everybody needs to get it. Do you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I've kind of just applied that mentality, but in the same sense where it's like, whenever I'm in a room that is important, I will at least try and name drop a couple more people. You know, so I'm still there, I'll still win, I'll still do whatever, but I'm still like, yo, check this out.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I guess to answer your question, yeah, it's still a big thing for me, but I just see it differently now.
Yeah. And then how did you see it at the beginning with?
In the beginning, it's like, yo, it's all roses and butterflies, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we're all gonna make it, baby. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if I just, you know, show love to everyone, if I just like connect with as many people as possible and do this, bro, we're all gonna make it.
Yeah.
We're all gonna make it. Now, that is still true, but I just see it from a realistic point of view now.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not just black and white. You know what I mean? There's a lot of grey areas. There's people who are going to help you make that come. There's people who are going to try to exploit you.
Yeah.
And that's just life. You know? So I spent a lot of time seeing it as, you know, everybody's going to be great. You know, because I'm like, bro, how the hell are people not going to fuck with something that's going to make everybody happy? Do you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, you find people that don't want that.
Yeah, bro, yeah. And they're like, no, I want everybody to be happy, but I don't want you to be more happier than me. So, bro, fuck that shit. Do you know what I mean? But you get people who are like, yeah, I'll smile and kid on, I'm happy, but bro, fuck you. Like, I will jeopardize this. Bro, it is so mad the amount of people who I look at who are part of what I'm doing, and I'm like, my guy, like, how can you not see that you are self-sabotaging this whole shit?
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, I was like, do you even want this shit? Do you even want this thing to even be successful? Because you're moving mad right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and bro, I even have that conversation with myself where sometimes it's like, I want everybody to win, but do I want me to win?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I look at my behavior patterns and I see a lot of repeated behavior patterns, which doesn't imply that I actually want to win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, you know, if I did want to win, I wouldn't act the way I acted. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go and do stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I know that would put everything else in jeopardy.
And if you don't put your first, mate, none of this shit happens, bro.
None of this shit happens.
None of it. It's the same, even the stuff that we spoke about way back then when we had fucking, met up at 6 o'clock at one of those coffee shops until it fucking shut.
Yeah.
Everything we spoke about then was exactly what we're referring to now in terms of you don't focus on you and what you're doing. Yeah, nothing else becomes a reality, bro. And it's a constant ripple effect, especially, I mean, we speak about him quite a lot, but like on the podcast about Naval Ravikant, he speaks so openly about, like, even your role as a business owner is to make sure that almost like a lion hunting.
Yeah.
You know, you hunt, the lion will hunt for days. And once he gets said food, he's resting, bro. Whereas we are constantly, as business owners, or anything that we're doing, anything that's to do with us, constantly going.
Yeah.
And there's no sign of rest, rejuvenation, making us as sharp as possible. Most of the time, bro, especially for me, I was running like 20% battery for the first year of business, mate. Because I'm just constantly just going and going and going and going. Whereas now, like we spoke about Nando's, don't work weekends, don't work evenings.
No.
And even like today, for example, I've overworked today and I can feel my levels of sharpness being as low.
Lucky, bro. I need that. like I am relentlessly relentless. Do you know what I mean? Bro, I don't know what rest is. I couldn't tell you the last time I rested. I couldn't tell you the last time I just laid there and done nothing.
What would be your definition of resting?
Doing
What would
nothing.
qualify as a rest?
Doing absolute nothing.
For how long?
24 hours. That's my definition of rest.
Yeah. I think...
but bro, I couldn't tell you the last time I had that.
I mean, I was the exact same, bro, until body just felt fucked, man.
Yeah.
Felt like I was going to have to go to A&E. Scott McClure spoke about it as well, man. He had time period where he stopped going gym, fully focused on his two brands, wanted to start up his third company, and was like, right, cool, for 2 months I'll just do everything that I need to do, nothing else will matter. And ended up in A&E, bro. He was having panic attacks. And same thought process, like with me, where it wasn't panic attack related, it was just more my body, mate. Like when I was 16, my appendix burst.
Right, okay.
And I started to get, even when your appendix burst, bro, you've only got 40% chance of living. So already the odds are fucking mad.
Yeah.
I started to get similar pain in my abdomen, like my lower abdomen, as I did when my appendix, which isn't possible, bro. So the only thing that I could see when I was researching it was that it was like some form of like post-traumatic like stress of like it happening and the pain and stuff like that. And the more and more research, I eventually before in NHS 24, I was stressing my box. Even broke down to my mum. Mum was like, right, cool, all meetings done. I'm fucking cancelling what my mum like put down the fucking hammer on me at like 21 years old, bro. My mum's putting down the hammer on me. And I laid in my bed, mate, from Friday until Monday, bro. And see when I woke up on Monday, oh my god, bro, my brain, I felt like, yeah, man. I felt like I was sitting there thinking, people feel this way all the time. And it was like I was in the shower, bro, and activating that Zen state of mind. It was like the solutions I was coming up with the problems that I'd had for months to do with my business were like boom, 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 and I was like, holy shit, this is what Neville Ravikant's speaking about. Where as a business owner, you come in to solve the big problems that need to be solved, and you solve them as quick as possible and as sharp as possible, and it's easy when you come in because you've been so well rested. And I'm like, bro, why is it like a mad culture of doing everything you're speaking about in terms of being relentless, but only seeing that as a way of moving forward?
Well, I mean, it's because it's the lifestyle you've been sold, isn't it? Yeah. It's a capitalist idea. It's like in order for you to make it, you've got to work and work and work and work and work and work and work. You know what I'm saying? Where you know the harsh reality is, like a lot of the hardworking people are the one who are broke. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like bro, we know of bare people who are working 500 jobs at once, bro, and them man still can't scrape a penny together. You know what I'm saying? But still, because we're in that mindset that the only way we can make it out of the jungle, make it out of the ghetto, make it out of the hood, make it out of wherever the fuck you want to call it, is by relentlessly working.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but like what you say there, you see a lot of the man them who are up. I bet you them man do what you do. Them man say weekend, don't phone my phone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, see, as soon as that clock hits 3:30, I ain't trying to hear it.
I think you're right, bro, because it's what the lifestyle we had previously been sold, and also it wasn't like I came, or either of us came from a family of people that were business owners or they were well off or whatever it may be, and that mindset of, I think I didn't believe it was possible until I started to meet people that were actually doing it, and it wasn't just the whole hustle culture or that kind of stuff. And
what's that saying? You're one of the 5 people.
You're one of the 5 people we spend the most time with. You're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Yeah, Jim Rohn style. Quote I live by. Fucking love that quote, bro, because it fits into the ethos of why I built YN.
Yeah.
And that, the whole mindset aspect, mate, 100%. And I think, bro, there's literally, you said, there's probably a hardworking mum right now, bro, that's working 3 jobs to make sure that everything's cushy. There's someone that is working hard labour 6 days a week, and on the Sunday they sit and watch the football, but that's it, bro. And then the 6 other days are working 12-hour shifts constantly.
But there's also somebody who's out there who's just hit, boom, and that's them made a million. They're like, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So that I mean, like, yeah, shit's crazy, man.
And then the topic I work at the moment, bro, are we able to speak about going full time?
Oh yeah.
That can. Yeah. So you're going full time. For the whole time that you've been doing what you're doing, you've always had a job.
Always.
And now you're going into the Lions then. No job.
No job. Just music.
How does that feel for a start?
Scary. Like what I was saying to you earlier on, innit? Yeah. See, when you've never had something, like, bro, like I come from I don't like saying I come from nothing, innit, because it makes it sound as if my dad wasn't working hard to make sure that we like I find that saying sometimes disrespectful, innit, because my dad tried, innit, he tried, but I didn't have much. And I've been in situations when I've had nothing. And I've been in situations when I signed on. And the day, signed on, signed off, signed back on, signed back off. And I remember one day I got sanctioned for missing a meeting. And the woman who sanctioned me and told me I wasn't getting any money had a Rolex on, right? And bro, and I looked at her, man, and I was like, piece of shit, right? And then I signed back off. And I swore from that moment when I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I will never, ever, ever be broke. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, I will never, ever not have money. By any means necessary. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, bro, it's led to me doing some dumbass shit, but it's like, it'll never, ever happen.
Yeah.
So I always made sure that I had somewhat of a consistent income of money.
Yeah.
So that's what's scary about now going full-time music, because I'm a realist. I know at any moment in time, this shit could just stop.
Yeah.
Or the bookings I'm getting won't pay as much because for some reason I'm not as relevant. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, bro, obviously all these are like insecurities and stuff that's going through my head. It's like, but what if you're not Big Bemz no more? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just give it your job, you're gonna be poor. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what's kind of like put me off doing it for a while.
Yeah.
You know? But now it's like, it's just beneficial for me and my work. You know, it's like they need someone who can give them the hours. I will always prioritize my music over work. So yeah, there's no point fucking about in it.
Absolutely, bro.
You know?
In terms of like when it comes to the music side of things, how many hours were you working a week?
25, which is mad because I cut from 40 because I was like, at one point I was working 40 hours, being a dad, working and doing music. Yeah. And then it got to that point where I was like, I can't do 40 hours anymore. I just can't. If I cut to 25, I've got more time to do whatever. And bro, 25 was Gucci, bro. 25 was lit. It was like, yeah, perfect. And I was reflecting on this and I'm like, yo, there was times where I prayed for 25 hours. And now the idea of 25 hours makes me feel sick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I work 25 hours and I'm like, I still don't have enough time in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's mad. It's surreal.
It's the same with money for most people. Just fucking chinned the it's the same for most people in terms of money, bro. They always think that X number is going to get them to where they want to be or make them feel a certain way, and then it gets there and it's like, oh shit, bro. Yeah. This wasn't what.
But I'm trying to have that problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem, bro. It's a good problem.
I'm trying to figure out how $1 million makes me feel.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
That was some of the first shit that we spoke about in Fusion, bro.
Yeah,
around money. And I think at that time that was when, that was the early stages of YEN anyways, not necessarily in business, but in YEN's terms. And the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind was my fucking Bible, bro. That was like I read that multiple times by the time and everything around money in that book. If anyone's wanting to learn about money, just start with that book by T. Harvey Eker and you'll be sweet, bro. You'll just learning exactly how rich people think. You're learning exactly how to adopt the ways in which you need to think in order for you to make the shit happen that you need to happen. And in terms of what you need to make happen, bro, you've got a lot of shit that you want to make happen, bro. Yeah. And those extra 25 hours a week. Bro, you'll make that cash back tenfold with ease.
100%. But that 10 times cash flow isn't guaranteed. See what I'm saying?
Also makes you feel alive.
Yeah, but bro, I like knowing that my bills are paid. I like knowing my daughter ain't got to worry about none. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But bro, it just got to that point. It's like it needs to happen. And I'm hoping that now that I'm, I've been forced out my comfort zone. Like, bro, I know come the end of this month, I am going to feel uncomfortable as shit, bro. I am going to be ugh.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's why I thrive the best.
Yeah, 100%. Sure, a lot more people should put themselves in that kind of position.
Yeah.
More uncomfortable.
Because like what you said there, because bro, I know when I get to that point, by fire, by force, I'm going to make ends meet. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. And when it comes to the mindset around that, I always think about like for example, when you're getting grilled, for example, you've whether it's in business or whether you're reflecting on previous areas of your life or a mistake or whatever it may be. And for me, like, I've got a business coach, I've got people around, I've not got any yes men around me or yes women around me. If I'm doing something that is potentially harming the vision that I've got, the culture that I'm embedding, or anything that I'm doing, it's like, right, cool, John, have you thought about this properly? And then as I look through it, I'm like, oh shit. And then all it takes is I show any sign of like a scarcity mindset rather than an abundance mindset, and Paul's like, poke at the bear, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And then it's question, and it's like, oh shit, bro, I'm getting grilled.
Yeah.
And that is where the actual growth happens. And don't get me wrong, bro, in those grilling moments, Paul knows it, my mom knows it, everyone knows it. The emotion, like, you start to get fucked off, and you start to feel like, and it starts to feel like it's potentially a wee bit of a sign of you taking it personally. And as soon as that emotion passes, you're sitting there and you're like, I needed every single part of that, bro, in order to move forward. And it's the same with the uncomfortable thing, bro.
Yeah, bro, even saying that, I had a conversation with my DJ was last night. And we're just sitting there talking. She's saying shit. And I'm getting angry. And it ends up being like a debate. But the problem is, she wasn't saying shit about me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, and I went home and I thought about that. I was like, why the hell was I so angry about that? And then I clocked. It was because I felt what she was saying felt like a personal attack, but it wasn't even.
Yeah.
And today I had to pick up the phone and phone someone and be like, yo, I'm sorry. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then I realized the reason why my emotions was getting hurt in that moment of what was being said was because I was living it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's surreal. It's surreal. So when you learn to take your emotion away from things, you know?
Absolutely, mate. And in terms of, when we think about emotion, think about some areas, there was one thing that we're going to just kind of briefly touch on. We spoke about a part of your journey as well. There were some areas of your journey that spoke about, you signed on, signed off. There were some areas of your journey as well where you were homeless as well, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of like in terms of, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can take this, bro, but in terms of actually how it feels to be in that position, bro.
You know, you can look back on it and laugh now, innit? Do you know what I mean? But that shit was that's probably the lowest, one of the lowest I've ever felt in my life. But again, I knew it couldn't last. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in my head, I was like, yeah, this is shit, but this can't be my future.
Yeah.
This can't be my life.
And when you were in that kind of situation, like, what were you, not necessarily looking for? You'd look for the obvious things. Obviously, you're wanting a home, but in terms of from day to day, what were you actually like looking for?
Love, bro. If we're being very honest, and respect. It's when you end up in a position like that, everybody thinks you're a bum, innit?
Yeah.
Like if we're being very, very honest, like people look at you funny. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you see, when you're up and you've got everything, people look at you a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the way they talk to you is different. And that's exactly what it was like then. It's like, you know, people spoke to me different. People looked at me different. You know. And I didn't like that, man.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
The position that is, bro. It's fucked, man.
It's fucked, but bro, again, like it happened. And in that moment in time, when I could tell myself, well, shit, it's happening, like, bro, fuck what you could do about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, see, when shit happen in your life, you're just like, you ain't got nowhere else to go, so you're right here, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna, you know, live by it. You know, bro, I slept on my boy's couch for like 3 months. Slept on my boy's couch even longer. I've been in homeless accommodations and everything like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's not funny, but it's like, yeah.
It's mental, bro. Because it's relating back to what we first spoke about to begin with your prayers, my gratitude.
Yeah.
Forms of, is so easy when you've been in that position and where you are now to have any signs of gratefulness. And it's when, like, Gary Vee, mate, he says some mad shit, mate. Like, speaks about how, like, you know, envision one of your family members dying, and it's like, you can really sit, if you've actually went through it, you've actually went through everything that you've previously went through, it's so, not necessarily easy, but because you actually felt it, you actually felt the pain and the suffering.
Yeah, well, so you can draw from that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not fake. Do you know what I mean?
It's not hypothetical.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
The sadness is real. The depression is real. The anxiety is real.
Yeah.
Happiness is real. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't had to buy it, you ain't had to fake it or nothing. It's there, it's in you. And I feel like it's these experiences that can even make or break a person, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%, man. There's so many ways that you can go, especially when it comes to like when I'm out now, and we spoke about it when we were in Nando's as well, bro. Like people think that a homeless individual would want what they've potentially not got, which is money or food or whatever it may be. Yeah, bro, they probably are in a position where they've maybe not ate today. But just like you said, all they're needing is just some love, bro, and make them actually feel like an actual person.
Human being.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what people forget. But again, and I think that that's people's problems though, because people like to do the bare minimum and pat themselves on the back for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like people just want to just fling a homeless person like £2 and be like, yeah, cool, that's it. I've done my good deed for the day.
Yeah.
And go home and their ego stroked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm like that. I'm bad for it sometimes. And it's not until I started working in the work that I work in now that I'm like, oh shit. You know? And then, you know, and if I wasn't in these positions, like I wouldn't understand how deep being homeless actually is. Or why people end up being homeless. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's like everybody just thinks like, you know, people are homeless, you know, just give them a huss. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, G.
Yeah.
Nah, G. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of things that lead to someone being in this position.
Yeah.
And I kind of put that into every single aspect of my life. It's like, there's reason why someone is who they are and where they are.
Yeah.
Whether it's down, whether it's up, whether it's left, whether it's right, it doesn't matter. There's a reason for it. You know what I mean? And it's understanding that reason. Once you understand that reason, then you can actually speak to someone better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, if I'm speaking to someone who's homeless because they have XYZ, you know, mental issues and stuff, then it's like I can talk to them a certain level. Does that make sense? Like rather than just being like, oh, if I met someone who's homeless off like something that could have been controlled, for example, then it's like, right, okay, you know, you need a certain level of help, but someone who's like got mental issues or whatever, they need a different type of help. Do you know what I'm saying? And you can always kind of like just relate it back to, but it's understanding what it is rather than just putting everyone on that blanket of, oh, you're homeless, so you must all think the same. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the exact same. It's like, oh, you're rich, so you must all act the same. You're this. Like, bro, I remember because one of my brethren told me that they didn't want to tell me that they were rich because they thought I'd, you know, not like them. Because I'm going to put this on air, whether you keep it on this on, you, I fucking hate Tories, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And it just happens to be that most Tories are rich. But the way I always spoke about it was like I hated rich people. When really I just hate Tories. Does that make sense? Yeah. And my friend, hearing me say that so much, found it difficult to come and say to me that she came from money. Yeah. In case I didn't, and I was like, nah, bruv, like, I don't have a problem with you coming from money. Shit, I wish I came from money. Just don't like fucking Tories. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just being able to just not put everything under one umbrella. Yeah. And understand that different people require different processes and love and stuff. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. There's so many, a couple of things that came to my mind. People end up in positions through domestic abuse, you know, all sorts of.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, being in a homeless accommodation, homeless shelter, and seeing that, like, bro, I was living in so when I was in the hostel, bro, I was living in a place where there's like a 16-year-old kid, but there's like a 65-year-old woman, and everything in between. Yeah, there's people with kids. Do you know what I mean? There's people with like, and you're just like, fuck. But a lot of people will just class them as one thing. It's like bums. Look at you. Yeah.
What actually is it like in the hostel environment?
That shit's some bullshit. I hated it.
You hated that.
I hated it. It came with too many rules.
Right.
You know, like bro, imagine living in a hotel. Yeah. 6 months.
Mm.
And you shared everything with everybody. The only space you had was your square box.
Yeah.
You had to be in the house at a certain time. You know, you're not with people who you know. You're not with people who, like, the only thing a lot of people had in common was the fact that they were homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I've seen it in two forms. So like when I was in Stranraer, my auntie used to be a carer at a homeless accommodation. So I spent a lot of time with people in that space, you know, like just chilling and just talking to them and all that, you know, hearing their mad stories and all that stuff. And then I've actually lived in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
and the reality is when you're going with your auntie, you get to go home at it.
Yeah, I get to go home. I get to go chill. My auntie gets to go sleep in some double bed that's attached to it, and then after a shift, come home to her family. And a lot of these people don't even have that. But you don't think about it until you're in it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, fuck.
That's why people speak about how it actually takes the hard times to actually even be grateful for the things that you obtain, and why a lot of people grow up.
What in the word of 50 Cent? Sunny days won't be special if it wasn't for rain.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
It's true, bro. You need the
facts.
You need the darkness. You need the areas of
yin and yang, innit? So the balance, you know. But unfortunately, some people get more dark than light.
Thanks, bro.
And the people who get more light than dark think they're better than the people who gets more dark. You know, it's fucked. The world is fucked.
For sure. And there was something that you said about the women with the Rolex, which not necessarily made me think, but just, was it the Rolex that jarred you, or was it?
Yeah, because the reason why I'll say that is the way I see life is for you to have a Rolex, it means everything else. Well, some things else in your life is patterned. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So like, bro, you ain't got a Rolex on, and your bills ain't paid. I mean, some people do, but like a majority of the people, innit? Yeah. And bro, I'm sitting here and you're telling me that I ain't gonna get no support for 12 weeks, B. Like you're sitting face to face with me being like, sir, B, you ain't getting none. And that for me was difficult to swallow. Yeah. Like, bro, if it was a man, I would have probably slapped him up. Like straight up, because I'm like, how fucking dare you? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's easy when you're on the other side, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like no remorse, no nothing. Just like, yo, G, you missed that meeting, B, you ain't getting no money. I'm like, bro, fucking steal that Rolex off your wrist right now. Do you know what I mean? I'll take that to cash ratings right now. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously at that point in time, the Rolex was a physical thing that triggered me, but it wasn't the Rolex that was the problem. Yeah. It's like, how are you in a position to be comfortable, but work for an institution that will make life uncomfortable for other people?
It's fucking big facts, bro.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, bro, I'm jumping through hoops to get the minimum anyways. And just because I missed a meeting because of X, Y, Z, you're going to tell me that I can't get shit. But if you're late for work, you get paid regardless. You know?
Facts, man.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like. I didn't like the establishment. I didn't like the structure of it. Yeah. And unfortunately, that was the person who dealt with it. Yeah. And bro, like, I just said to her, cool, and I walked out. I was like, all right, cool.
I actually thinking, as you were speaking, like the Bemz that I met in Fusion, you've evolved so much now from like a mindset aspect.
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
Nah, I don't know. Just as I was thinking, I was probably reflecting more and more on that kind of like the memory I had of Bemz to begin with. Because I was actually surprised that you text me when you actually said to me, John, give me your number, I'll text you on it. Yeah. I was surprised that you did text me, not for any specific reason, but just more when I think about the Bemz that I know now. I don't think I really got to see that Bemz in Fusion.
Yeah, but that's because that Bemz wasn't there. the main thing about you that made me text you was you confused me. Like, I like to be able to understand people. Like, see if I'm in a room with someone and I can't read them, I'm drawn to them. Why can't I read you? Like that shit excites me. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was in a room full of people who I knew. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I know what ticks off that person. I know that person's habit. And then this motherfucker is in here talking some mad shit. And I'm like, the mad shit he's talking makes sense, but I can't process why he thinks the way he thinks. Nah, can't have that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I had to figure that one out. But then, you know, and even in that, and the reason why that Bemz ain't the same Bemz now is because within that I had to figure myself out. Yeah. You know? And it's been a journey. It's been it's been a fucking disgusting journey. It's been shit. It's been horrible. It's been lonely and all that shit. But at the same time, it's been so rewarding. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because now I see shit just a little bit clearer. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
100%, man.
And a little bit more grown. You know? And less naive. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Less naive. Yeah. You know?
I mean, the stuff that we spoke about that day was very much my... Because I was an introvert and I sit in a position where business put me in a position to be uncomfortable where I didn't really have a choice. So getting past to Rob and Rob being like, oh, come to the studio, meet a couple of the guys and stuff like that. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know any of these people in it. Yeah. And I'm going to have to turn up. And like, I was that much of an introvert that I always give a time limit of which I would be there for, and it was always about an hour. So I'd say to Rob, I'll be there for about an hour, bro, now I need to hit, you know, do something else. Yeah. And it was always just like my position of how I could gain comfort or control in a certain situation, when in reality I couldn't control any of it, bro. Well, it was going to happen. And in those kind of environments too, I definitely, even like when I think back to then, I didn't tame myself a lot, but I definitely tamed myself in quite a couple of areas, just purely because you're in an environment with people you don't know.
No. Yeah, but that's why I think our conversation was interesting though. Because I was challenging your thought process. Yeah. And you was like, you wasn't so challenging mine, but you was hitting me with like just basic like sentences. Yeah. And I had to reevaluate it quickly and be like, but nah. Like I don't know if you remember that. It's like you're saying something and I'm like, nah, bruv, impossible. You're like, nah, but Bemz, like, nah. Like, and I'm like, how? Yeah. How have I went my whole life not being able to see these little, because bro, you weren't really saying too much, if I'm being honest. Yeah. You weren't really saying too much, but you're saying enough to make me actually doubt like a lot of things, you know? That was great.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like when you're in the kind of mode of scarcity, or you're in a mode that you've never experienced anything that someone else is speaking about, and you're reflecting, because the impression that I got when we were in that environment was very much probably the early stages of when I started to understand how I was previously being coached, which was through asking the right questions to prompt self-discovery. And because I wasn't familiar enough with the questions, I was more familiar enough with stating the areas that changed my life and just seeing what people do with them. Yeah. It's almost like, not necessarily like fishing for anything, but more like, let me throw it out here and see what happens. Yeah. And it was, I think, in those kind of stages of my life anyways, and I was throwing things out there, and it was very much when I was in school days, I'd very much go and get my roll and sausage and I'd sit and I wouldn't say a word sometimes. I feel a break, bro. So it was definitely the early stages, whereas now, bro, if I'm in a situation where I believe that whatever I say could potentially help or change someone's life, or even if I'm in a situation what you're speaking about where I'm around people that are nothing like me, I won't just sit there and just be like, either I'll remove myself from the situation because I'm around people that I don't want to be around, or I stand forward, bro, and I'm counted. Yeah. And it's clear that my thought process is very different, whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter, but in a position where it's like, I'm who I am, bro, and it was what we spoke about in the studio about you wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
It was like, you you can never truly go wrong with wearing your heart on your sleeve in terms of authenticity and in terms of like, bro, if you just want to show mad love to people, if you want to just, you know, state what you really, how you really feel, there's really, look back in the old days, fucking, I'm reading a book just now, the 48 Laws of Power, I was speaking to Paul about it before, and it's all about establishing power and all this kind of mad shit, bro. None of it really fits with me at all, bro, in terms of like establishing power and using it to my advantage and fooling your enemies and all this. None of it means anything to me, bro, but it's more about reading it so that I can identify it in other people.
Yeah.
But for me, bro, I see no downside whatsoever to wearing your heart on your sleeve. I think that's what I said to you on that day. It's just, bro, in a position where you're authentic and you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, you just can't really lose, bro.
No, of course not. But you also have to open yourself to be able to be shown otherwise, which is one thing I try to do, you know?
Absolutely, bro. I couldn't agree more, mate.
Because I think that's how you learn, isn't it?
Aye, 100%. Having an open mind, mate. Open mind to change. Definitely it's where the magic definitely happens, mate. So in terms of the things you got planned, mate, couple of things that'll be coming out soon, but I mean, this pod's going to be going up, we've still got 3, this will be the 3rd, so about 6 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in 6 weeks' time, you'll know.
6 weeks' time, you'll know.
Yeah, in 6 weeks' time, you know everything. You know everything. I'm just trying to take over the world, man. Nah. Like all jokes aside, just planning and moving correctly, innit?
Yeah.
In the best possible way that I can. Learning from the last 2 years of madness. I can't keep making the same mistakes that I was making last year. You know? And it's just applying these lessons into my life to make sure the next 6 months are special.
What were some of the mistakes that you were making last year?
Stupid. Straight up stupid.
Yeah.
I was letting emotions act rather than reason. And that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Because I wear my heart on my sleeve. So, bro, if someone says something to me, I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? But bro, here's a negative one. If someone does a good job for me, I am quick to be like, yo, thank you. That shit's cool. And that shit comes in, bro, I showed a guy so much love, that this guy doubled his price on me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, he ain't doing nothing. Like, bro, he ain't update the tools. He ain't update nothing, bro. He ain't do nothing. But I went back to him for the same work and he was like, oh, well, since that work was so great, I'm doubling my fees. I said, huh? You know, and it's cool. Like, bro, I get it. But it's like, oh, right, okay. Maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut. Do you know what I'm saying? Save myself a couple £100 and stuff. You know, but yeah, like, I need to not act on emotion as much. I need to be more of a realist.
Yeah.
And that's in every sense. In understanding that I am not going to be a multi-millionaire by the end of this year. But I want to have at least doubled my intake from last year. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like actually setting realistic goals and targets and stuff. Whereas last year I'm like, I'm gonna take over the world, man. Like, I'm big fucking bad Bemz, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm untouchable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up doing half the shit I wanted to do anyways, but I need to be realistic with it, you know.
What was the tweet that you put out, the things you were going to achieve in 2022?
Yeah, transmit was the main one, innit? And I got it. So now I've put in, by 2023, I want to play wireless.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna play wireless. Mark this podcast.
Mark the podcast.
Mark it.
100%, man.
This time next year, I'm gonna be on a wireless bill. A fire by force. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like understanding now. So this is what I mean. Last year, I would just say it and just hope for the best. Do you know what I'm saying? This year, it's like, right, I want it. What's the plans? What are the steps that's going to get me there? Who do I need to go speak to? Who do I need to do Do you see what I'm saying? Actually move a bit smarter, you know, and move better as well.
Yeah.
Because more time I was, and move more direct, I guess. More times I was erratic and moving, you know, something that should have took me 2 steps ended up taking me 10. Now, I still got to the destination anyways, but I did not have to take those extra steps.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do this year. It's like, excuse me, it's like, just limit the amount of energy that I'm putting out to get to these destinations.
Yeah.
So I can then put my energy into my daughter, put my energy into Jabemi. Like, remember I was telling you, I struggle now to switch off as Bemz and focus on Jabemi. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, bro, it's 2 different things. Do you know what I mean? Like, Bemz is a business, if we're being very honest. Yeah. Well, Bemz has turned into a business. It's turned into a brand. It's turned into something that needs love and care and all that. And Jabemi spends so much time doing that he forgets to actually be himself. Do you know what I'm saying? I forget to reply to my messages to my friends who want to get a catch up. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so these are all the things that I'm trying to put in play for this year. You know, and make a shitload of money.
And the thing as well, your friends will understand that.
Oh yeah. Well, bro, this is why I'm quite selectful of friends. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, for example, I know I can text you 10 weeks later and it'll be blessed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? My friend Liam and Lauren, them motherfuckers know that they won't hear from me. Or even when they hear from me, it's just good news. Yeah. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. And they're like, oh my God, cool. Woo. Oh, by the way, this is so shit, man. They're like, oh, fuck's sake, man. You know, it'll be all right. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know? And it's because they know my journey, they know my path, and they understand it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But, you know, sometimes, so for example, like my little nephews, they don't understand that shit. They're like, how comes Uncle Bemz ain't been around to see us in the hingy? Like, yo, little man, I'm trying to take over the world. He's like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, broski, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to play basketball on the phone with you real quick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's just being able to just get that balance right, where I can make time for the people in Bemi's life rather than the industry people in Bemz.
Yeah, 100%.
They get too much from me.
You know? Without a doubt, man. There was one thing just before we wrap it up, man. It was a thought that I had just as we were coming here when you were speaking about your team and stuff like that. When you think about trying the best way to word this, man, because when it comes to your actual team, other individuals, I'm thinking about other individuals that are building a team. I'm also thinking about from business as well.
Yeah.
What is like the kind of main, not necessarily culture or values and stuff, because you're just you, bro. But when it comes to the individuals that are part of your team, I don't even know how the best way to word it, bro. Like, how do you be the role model that you want to be so that your team help you get to where you want to be?
Just being honest.
Just being honest. It's as simple as that. I just fucking took 30 seconds to whip up that question, bro.
In my opinion, it's just being honest.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I've got people doing jobs who, and I'm very honest with, I'm like, yo, you're good at your job, just do it. You go do it. You go in that meeting and do it. And I'll just focus on what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So having that trust, I guess, for me to have you in my team, I have to trust you that you are capable in doing what I've brought you on to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then, from then on, I just have to be honest with you. Be like, yeah, bro, you need to go do this, X, Y, Z, cool. Do it, get a result, thank you very much. It's business, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, it's what I mean. It's like, in my team, we're all here for a single goal.
Yeah. And
they all know that if that goal is met, everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to kid on that it's all rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
Because it's business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and we're here to just do the nitty gritty, get by, and then go do whatever the fuck it is that makes us happy.
Yeah.
And that's the God honest truth. And that's what I put on the table for everybody. I'm just like, you're either in it or you're not. You either understand or you don't. And I think I've put myself in a position where I'm now attracting people who get it and who understand that it's just business.
Yeah.
That's
Match
a
your
good feeling.
standards. Match your standards.
Yeah, I match my standards. Or up the standards so I match it.
Yeah.
I love that.
100%.
Like there's a couple of mans who came on and kicked it up a gear, and I'm like, hell no, y'all ain't leaving me behind. Fuck that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Brad just go into beast mode. Yeah, I know I'm Scottish Act of the
Year. What a spot to round it off on, mate. Honestly, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Hey, thank you very much, man.
Some of the things that we touched on, mate, a lot of kind of deep stuff, a lot of the kind of stuff. When I wanted to go with the podcast, it was also for you to put yourself in a position of vulnerability, mate, where there's going to be someone out there that's potentially listening that has went through something similar or wants to achieve something that for you, for example, seemed like it was
impossible.
So,
yeah,
impossible, bro.
Bro, if you asked me 2 years ago if I'd be in a position I am now, I'd be like, no. Because I ain't seen nobody look like me do it.
Yeah.
I ain't seen shit just sound impossible, that it can't happen.
Yeah.
That motherfucker there in that corner, when we were speaking and shit, ask him, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't believe half the shit. He believed more in me than what I believed in myself. And there was a lot of people who were like that. And there's a lot of people in this world who feel that way.
Yeah.
That they have people who believe in them more than what they believe in themselves. You know? 2 years later, I am.
The truth is, bro, the way we speak to ourselves, if we spoke that way to other individuals, bro, we'd have no one around us.
Literally. And here I am. And the only thing I can say is, you know, as a leaving kind of like quote or whatever the fuck all these people saying shit, it's like, just let yourself feel what you want to feel. But just realize there's a job that needs to be done. Yeah. And do it.
Well, thank you so much, of course, brother, for coming on, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking go. Appreciate you, mate.